All right, welcome everyone. My name is Eric, and welcome to today's. This is a special Saturday session, info session from Neotech Academy. We call this our info session because we're going to give you some information about who it is, who we are, give you some information about the IT industry in case you're not aware of just how expansive this industry is and how it really affects our daily lives and how there's a lot of money to be made in the industry as well as a lot of flexibility. We also have a boot camp. That's really the purpose. The main purpose of this is our boot camp, which is coming up on August the 10th. Do me a favor, write that date down because that date could be not to sound dramatic, but it's true though. I mean that could be the date where your life really does change because we have a 6 month boot camp. It's an accelerated course. I always like to say, because it's reality for a lot of people, where you're going to actually learn more in 6 months than it could take somebody, 2, 3 years potentially being on the job. You're going to learn all that in a very short amount of time. And so we're going to talk about I'll say it again, our life changing boot camp. We have a money back guarantee on the tuition. We have a very low amount of money as far as the entry is concerned, lower than other boot camps that are out there. And we'll get into all that, in just a little bit. But welcome and write this date today down. Also, what is today? Today's the 21st of June, 2025, because this could be the date where it was the beginning of your life changing, where you're finally being able to get paid what you're worth, getting the flexibility that you deserve. I asked this question before we started, and some people typed into the chat. They answered it. What are some things that you really look for in an ideal career, an ideal job? What are some characteristics? And I'm looking over here to my other screen. I've got 6 screens here in my office, but I see remote work, troubleshooting stuff. Okay. Let's see, some time break in between tasks. Yeah, good deal. So I think what it boils down to is freedom. Having the ability to do what it is to do what it is that you want to do and live life on your terms. Now, you'll hear me say this a few times today, where it doesn't matter what your background is. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about your educational situation. Don't worry if you have a 4 year degree or not. Don't worry about what your age is. What companies care about is, can you do the job, which we're going to actually train you to do. So think about where you are right now, not really knowing a whole lot about the IT industry. I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's the case with most people when they come on board with us. They don't really have a whole lot of in-depth knowledge on the IT industry. So imagine or think about where you are right now and imagine where you could be 6 months after the boot camp, getting your career started. So we're going to dive into this. We're going to get to all of your questions. We also have a guest with us today, an actual graduate. His name is Emery, and he'll be here in a little bit, as well as two of our founders, Elion and Amet. They'll tell you about themselves. They'll also tell you more about what it is that we do here at Neotech, as well as going through the placement program that we have. We actually have a way to help you get your foot in the door and land that first job. So we haven't left any stone unturned, guys. We're going to do everything we can to make you successful in this career and really get you paid what you're worth, for a change. So this slide here says, why consider an IT career? I would say, why not? I mean, the fastest growing occupations in the world are in the IT industry. If you were to, I mean, don't do it now, but when we're done, maybe go to Indeed.com or I don't know, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, whatever the case may be, and look for these types of jobs that we're talking about in your area. And you'll be able to see for yourself. They're in every major city. And remote work is available as well. That's what a lot of people really care about today because, you want to be able to spend time with your family. Again, kind of living life on your terms as opposed to being stuck in an office all the time. I remember back during the pandemic when it first started. Hard to believe it's been, over 5 years now, but when the pandemic first began, if you remember, hard to forget, much of the world was shut down and people couldn't work. And so the government was, sending out money to help compensate a little bit for, not being able to work. But you know what? In the IT industry really thrived during that period because there were already remote opportunities available. And so the pandemic only increased those opportunities. So as far as remote work is concerning. Some of you in the chat typed in earlier, your ideal job is to be able to, work remotely and not be tied to an office. There are more opportunities available right now, remotely, more remote opportunities available today than at any point in our history. And so that's great news. And I think, speaking of the pandemic, what it taught us, I think it taught us a couple of things. It taught us that tomorrow is not a guarantee. How many of you would agree with that, by the way, that tomorrow is not a guarantee? And it also taught us, I think, that we have to have a skill set that can make us money, good money, regardless of what's happening out there. Because, like I said, the IT industry was thriving during the peak of COVID when other industries were essentially shut down, not letting people go into work. And so they try to transition to more remote type work, but in our industry, it just kept going because we were already used to that anyway. Doesn't matter what your background is, so keep that in mind. We've seen a lot of people in recent years. We've had a lot of students who are from the nursing, the medical field. A lot of nurses have been making a transition to IT, educational field, teachers, truck drivers. When you get a chance, type in the chat, what you're currently doing, and what career you're in right now that you're looking to make a transition into, and I'll read a few of those a little bit later. So, software testing. Let's talk about that. You may have seen an ad for this or heard about software testing. What exactly is it? Why are we showing you this slide here on software testing? Because for a lot of folks, it becomes a way to get your foot in the door. It's more of an entry level type position. But you know what, guys? There aren't too many entry level opportunities available out there in any field that I know of that are at 90,000 plus. And we're going to show you some examples of this a little bit later when we go through our placement program. So, what is a software tester? Well, think about it like this. If you've ever used an app, which I know all of you have, you ever use Uber or you know, IG, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the case may be, maybe Amazon, you order something. If you've ever used an app before, an application, you know what a good app is that works, right? You use it, doesn't crash, everything is fine. So that's what you bring to the table, is my point. You've used technology, and then what we're going to do is give you some technical expertise on top of that, some hands-on knowledge, and put it all together, and you'll learn with our help how to do software testing. Now, a software tester's role in a company is vitally important. Think about this for a second. A company is willing to pay people top dollar to try out, to test their programs before they're released to the general public. Now, why would they do that? Because they would want to know if there are any bugs in their program before the public starts using it. So think about that for a second. Imagine all the bad reviews they would get online if they launched a product, an application, and it didn't work, it crashed every time, or maybe there was some minor bugs, whatever the case may be, and then people started complaining about it. It could cost the company a whole lot more than simply paying people to try it out ahead of time. That's where you come in. So you're going to be testing out these programs, these applications. You'll be given a list of what are called requirements. It's like a checklist, and it'll simply go through the checklist, and you'll see if the software developers actually did everything correctly. It could be something as simple as making sure the font is correct or the color scheme is correct, or something major, like I was saying, where it crashes every time you try to use it. Now, here's the good news. The good news is you don't have to fix the problem. Isn't that great? You simply make note of it. You let the development team know about it. They'll take care of it. You're simply going to do like this indicates, test the software. And it's a great way to get your foot in the door. Now, there are many career paths after software testing that you could potentially get into that pay even more. But again, this is more of an entry level position. But you know what, guys? Like I said a moment ago, there aren't too many entry level positions out there that start in that 90,000 area. We have a career focused syllabus. We always like to point this out that if you're looking to get involved with this as a hobby, then we are probably not the school for you. I'll just go ahead and say very bluntly, we're not the school for you, because we really are interested in only training people who are serious about this. If you're not really serious about it, you're not gonna, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. Plus, you're probably not going to be very focused and do your homework and things of that nature. But we do it all via Zoom. We have thousands of graduates around the world. We'll go through the scheduling, the timing in just a few minutes. Don't worry if you have another, like a full-time job going on that happens all the time where people have a career already and they do this. They go through our boot camp. You can watch the recordings at your convenience. But again, we want people who want to seriously are thinking about getting involved in a career and not just looking to do this as, like a hobby. Because you will be acquiring significant technical knowledge in programming, coding languages, and tools. And our job, our primary job, is to help prepare you for the IT industry, actually giving you in this boot camp actual projects to work on that you can then put on your CV. We will help you with your CV, your resume, and make sure that you are properly prepped for that first interview. Now, Course Report is very well known in our industry. They have rated us best quality assurance QA testing boot camp for 2023 as well as 2024. Career Karma also rated us best software testing boot camp for 2024. I mentioned this to you a moment ago. Write that date down, guys, because August 10th, 2025, that's going to be the beginning of our next boot camp. You don't want to waste any time you don't want to procrastinate, I should say, because you want to get involved with it as soon as you can because we do have a special offer. We'll go through that a little bit later. But there are also some things to get done before the beginning of the boot camp. Now we'll go through the tuition, the money back guarantee, all that good stuff for you in just a few minutes. But keep in mind, it's hands-on experience, actual projects, 6-month course, and we're going to really shorten that learning curve for you. So you'll learn more in 6 months than a lot of people will learn, as I mentioned to you, in a few years. Now, once you go through the boot camp, you'll be exposed to a broad perspective of tools, languages throughout our program. So, yeah, you might start out as a software tester in the IT field, but you might then segue into something more technical. You might become what's called a software developer engineer and test, SDET, SDET. And that's as opposed to being manual, that's going to be automated, pays more money. You might end up being the ETL tester or Scrum Master, a PM, whatever the case may be. Now, some of you might be looking at these terms up here and thinking, well, what in the world is an API tester? What exactly is a Scrum Master? It sounds like a rugby term. But just like anything else, you're going to be, as you start to do things, what seems complicated at first winds up being second nature to you later on down the road. And here's what I mean by that. Think about being in high school and you may have taken calculus or physics. And maybe the first semester you were kind of confused about things, but then by the second semester you were thinking, man, I've got it down now. What was confusing to me at first, last semester, I'm good to go now. Why? Because you've done it over and over and over again. And the way we teach here at the school, guys, is we it's called experiential training. And what I mean by that is, I don't know about you, but I have a difficult time learning something technical that by someone who just tells me what to do. In other words, you can't just tell me what to do. You've got to show me what it is that you're doing and then let me do it. And then you, the expert, you let me know if I'm doing it correctly. And type in the chat if you can agree with that, if maybe that's the way you learn as well, because that's how we do it here. You'll be trained by experts who are currently in the industry, but not just going through a PowerPoint presentation and that's all. They're actually explaining to you, showing you everything, and then letting you do it and making you know if you're doing it correctly. And that's really how you learn, in my opinion. That's the best. Actually, studies have shown that's the best way to learn. So here's what we're going to do, folks. I'm going to bring on Elion. He's going to he's going to tell you more about himself, tell you more about the academy, what it is that we offer, and he's going to go through. He also has an interview with one of our alumni, whose name is Emery, and Emery will let you know about his experience. He was just like you, sitting in a webinar like this, wondering, can these guys really help me out? So, Elion, do you want to take it away, my friend?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Eric, for the introduction. So let me share my screen. Let me continue from there. Okay. So I hope that you can see my screen. So yeah, my name is Elio Limanai, and I've been a software developer for 20 years now. So we have created this bootcamp together with our friends to make sure that to help people that want to start a career in IT. And starting as software testing is one of the easiest way, right, to work in the IT or to start working in the IT. I know when you talk about IT is a very broad terminology, so there are a lot of fields there, a lot of different terminology. So you can be a software developer, you can be a database architect, you can be a DevOps, let's say cybersecurity, network engineer, so different places. But software testing is one of the easiest, right? One of the easiest way to start and work in the IT sector. And then after work there for a couple of years, definitely you can learn some more skills and you can switch to other parts of the IT, and it's a good thing. But the best part about software testing is that you need to have less knowledge, and by just learning this, like by learning these skills in this boot camp for 6 months, you're gonna be able to work as a software tester. uh, so of course we're going to teach you from zero, right? So most of our students, I can say 99% of our students, they don't have any information about IT, any information about coding, any information about testing when they start the bootcamp. But after the 6 months, they come to a stage when they are able to create a project. They are able to go to interviews, to talk about their project, to talk about whatever the skills they have, and to be hired as software testers finally. So that is our final goal. So, right, I'm going to talk a little bit about the tools that we learn, and then about our schedule of the course. And then I'm going to invite our alumni. I'm going to try to ask him the questions, and of course, your questions that you can ask there in the chat section of the Zoom. Okay. So we teach, right, in our bootcamp, we teach about manual testing. So manual testing is to do all those tests. So the job as a software tester is to test the software, to make sure that the software is working as expected, right? So if your company has hired your developers, they're building a product, they're printing a software, and you don't want it to crash. So before it goes to the customers, before it goes to the users, you want to make sure that every update is working fine. So before you make the update, the testers, they run all their tests. If everything goes fine, then the software goes, right, it updates and it goes to the customers. So you learn to do these things manually. If something goes wrong, how do you report it, right? How do you communicate with the developers team, right? And the good thing, as also Eric mentioned, that is the best part of the software testing, is that you don't need to fix the bugs. If there's a problem in the software, you just need to report it. So I did this thing, and a bug or an error occurred, and then the developers are supposed to fix the bug, make another update, and then again you run the tests again, and then after that the update goes to the customers. So after you learn about the manual testing, guys, we also teach you about coding. So coding is more and more requested these days. So we talk about AI, we talk about coding, we talk about scripts. So in the bootcamp, you learn about Java programming language. Java programming language is one of the strongest programming languages, is widely used. Of course, there are a lot of tons of programming language out there, but Java is one of them and one of the strongest, let's say. So if you go to a company, if they're using another software, right, they're using, I don't know, JS, or if they're using Python or probably other programming language that you have heard, it doesn't matter. They still may hire you because you need to have those skills. You need to know about what is testing, how you do the testing, and you can do it with any software that you know. So we teach Java because it's commonly used, but of course, then you might be hired in a company and you can switch to another programming language there. So after you learn about Java, which is the basic of our bootcamp, then you learn about automation testing tools. So coding is done with Java, but testing is done with those tools that we teach that you need to know. So there are Selenium, TestNG, and Cucumber. Those are those testing tools that are making sure that they're testing, they're creating reports, they're taking screenshots of whatever, right? Whatever it's done by you as a tester. So after you learn about this part, guys, you learn about testing the software, the front part of the software. We call it front end testing, right? But of course, those data, everything is stored somewhere, which we call it the database or the back part of the software. So even though the users don't see it, you need to make sure that that part is also working as expected, is working fine, and there is no crash. So that part, right, is also tested by the testers. So it's called the back part. We call it backend testing. We talk about database and API. So after you learn about, right, after you learn about what is the front end testing, what is back end testing, and you know both of them, you are also considered as full stack testers, right? So you know both of the parts. So why do we teach front end, back end testing, and all of them, because we want you to be exposed as many job openings as possible, right? So we want you to be able to go to the interviews. Probably you're gonna mess up in the first interviews. That's normal, but with time, right? With time, you learn about these skills, you learn about the interviews, and then with time, you're able to ace the interview and hopefully to get an offer. So these are the technical parts of the bootcamp that we teach, these first four steps, let's say. But during the bootcamp, even though it's number 5 here, but it's done throughout the bootcamp, we also prepare you for the interviews, right? We call this class that we do every Wednesday, we call it soft skills. So what are the meetings that are done in this field? What are the terminology that are used? What are the different types of programming methods, right? So waterfall, agile methodology. So all of these things are taught during the bootcamp so that you are prepared, right? You're prepared for this field and you're prepared also for to do the job after you're done with the bootcamp, right? So, and also definitely, of course, we prepare you for the interviews. We prepare you with how to create your resume, how to apply in the market. All these are towards the end of the bootcamp. So these are what we do during the boot camp, and also with our, let's say, job placement team, with our career placement team, we are also helping you when you are applying for the job. So the boot camp is done in 6 months. We don't stop there. We continue to support you. We continue to push you, to motivate you, to make sure that you're applying to as many job openings as possible so that you can get interviews. And then if you go to the interviews, you're going to get offers at the end. Okay. So even when you get an offer, you come to our team. I got multiple, sometimes some of our alumni, they got multiple offers. Which one is better? Which one we should go with? They're asking for me to share my ID, right, or my green card or my passport or whatever information. Am I supposed to share it with them or not? They're giving me this offer. Is it good or bad? So we help you, right, until you are placed to a job and after you start working there peacefully, let's say. So these are the tools, right? Of course, definitely there are a lot of tools here. I don't want you to get scared, but we have Java programming language, which we teach at the beginning. I talked about Selenium, TestNG, and Cucumber, which are used for front-end testing. We have Postman, Rest Assured, and MySQL, which are for back-end testing. And also we have Jira software, Jenkins, Maven, GitHub, different tools that are used to collaborate with our team members, to share your project with the others, to share your task with the others, and to make sure that you're working together with other people in the field. So as I said, after you learn about software testing, after you work as a software tester for a couple of years, definitely with a small, I don't know, probably a small boot camp of 2 months, or maybe some, I don't know, some other things there, you can learn other skills, and you can definitely switch to our to other part of the IT. Okay. So I'm gonna go quickly over these things. So what do we offer, right? So we have projects, homeworks, tasks that we do during the boot camp to make sure that you are practicing whatever we're teaching you. Definitely gonna do a couple of big projects. So how to collaborate with other team members, right? To work together. So cross team collaboration, right? So those things there. Definitely the things that we teach there are the current methods, strategies, and tools that are used in the technology as of right now. As I said, definitely there might be other tools that are similar to whatever we teach, but as long as you know one of them, definitely you can learn the others, and you can go to a job that might be using other tools. And we have a lot of examples of our students which learn, like, so we went to a company that are using other tools. They are hired there. It doesn't matter. They learn the tools in a couple of weeks there. So all of the courses, guys, are online. As of right now, we're doing this Zoom meeting here. You are from home watching. The same are our classes. All the classes are recorded and shared with you. So if you didn't watch, or if you want to rewatch it again, everything is like recorded. All the materials are shared with you. You can watch them online. You can rewatch them as many times as you want, and those materials will be shared with you towards the right throughout the bootcamp and even after the bootcamp until you find the job. So, by the way, guys, also this Zoom session right now is being recorded. We're gonna finish the recording. We're gonna share them with you, and then you're gonna be able to rewatch it again, and probably, I don't know, share it with your friends if they want to. If they want to get an information about the bootcamp, probably have another friend which might be interested. So also, guys, we have our one-on-one training and mentorship program. So We have a lot of alumni that are graduated from our bootcamp 5, 6 years ago. They are working right now as software testers for years, and they are there to help our students to go through this career together. So besides the classes, we create a group, and then they meet once a week for 1 hour. They ask their questions to the mentors. I don't know, even when they're in the market looking for a job, they can ask questions to them to make sure that they are getting answers from people that are experienced in this field, but they've gone through the same process as the students right now. Also, guys, as I said, we not only teach your technical skills, but also software skills, how to prepare for the jobs, how to prepare your resume, right? So how to go to the interviews, how to apply for the jobs. All of these things are done throughout the bootcamp. And then, of course, we have a lot of alumni working in different companies, a lot of recruiters. So we gonna try to help you as much as possible. If there's any job openings, share with you, and of course you can apply to a lot of them to make sure that you're going to be able to find and to start working in this field. Okay. So, and again, even after you're done with the bootcamp, guys, our team will help you, support you to maximize your compensation, right? I don't know. So we had a lot of students that got multiple offers. So one is a full-time job, one is a contract based. Which one is better, right? So in one of them I'm getting 90, and another one I'm getting 110. Oh, this is better because this is a full-time and I have other benefits, or this is better because the salary is higher. So we also give those tips to the students, and if they need our help, right, we also help them even after the bootcamp is over. So this is the schedule of the bootcamp, guys. Our bootcamp will start on August 10, right? So we're repeating this time, these things maybe not enough, right? So even though it looks like far, but it's less than 2 months now, you need to get ready. You need to schedule your life accordingly so that the bootcamp will start on August 10th. It will be until, let's say, February, right? March, whatever. And then after that, you're going to start applying for a job, and hopefully in a couple of months, you're going to be able to start working in this field. So your life will change. But the only way for your life to change, guys, if you take this one seriously, if you commit your time, if you commit this 6 months. So I know that, right? I know that universities and master degrees and all of these things are good, and we need them. But sometimes you finish a university and you're not able to find a job. So this bootcamp is concentrated, and in 6 months, it will change your life. Of course, if you are dedicating yourself, you're taking it seriously. So the classes are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 weekdays from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So 3 hours on Thursday, so 3 hours on Tuesday, 3 hours on Wednesday, 3 hours on Thursday. So it's a 9 hours during the weekdays, and there are 4 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday. So there are 8 hours during the weekend. So there's a total of 17 hours. Of course, all these times here are Eastern time. So if you are in a different time zone, definitely make your calculation. It might be 6 to 9 or maybe 4 to 7, depending on whichever time zone you are. This is Eastern time, so New York or New Jersey time. And definitely, right, guys, as I said, even if you're not able to join the classes live, it's not a problem. Those will be recorded and shared with you. You can watch those recordings later, but definitely you have to make sure that you watch all of them, you practice all of them. That's the only way for you to learn. If you take this one seriously, it will help you at the end. If you don't take this one seriously, I don't think that this will be right. It will not be able for you to find a job at the end and start working in this field. So I'm going to get your questions, guys, and direct them to our alumni. I'm going to invite our alumni right now. Let me stop sharing. So he was in the same, right, in the same position as you. I don't know, a year or two ago. He's gonna explain about himself. So we invite a lot of alumni, and I don't know the information of all of them. So he's gonna share his experience, how it was during the boot camp, after the boot camp when he found the job, and now that he's working in the field. And then after that, guys, and then after that, definitely you will. I'm gonna direct your questions to him. Okay. So Emre, welcome. How are you doing? Yeah, I cannot hear you. You're muted.
Okay, are you here now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Hello, hello. It's really good to see you again. I'm good. I'm doing good. I am glad to be here. I was once in one of these webinars. Now I remember that. And it was really, right now I'm thinking it was really a long way, but I'm glad I'm here. So yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much. I hope you're good as well. And the guys over there listening us, everyone is good, I hope.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining, Emre. And definitely, I'm going to ask their questions to you. So first, let me ask a couple of questions while you introduce yourself, and let's try to keep the answers as short as possible so that we can get questions from them. So first of all, when did you do the boot camp? Like a year ago or so? I don't know the exact date. So if you can give
Yeah,
us
yeah,
information.
23. I was in like 23, 24, the term. I did the boot camp.
Hmm.
You were one of my instructors. I don't know if you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Like, with your board at the back and your shorts that you might see sometimes when you work
Pajamas, you mean pajamas?
stand up, right?
Not a
So
problem.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm teaching from home, guys. The same thing. So this is during this time, everything is doing online. So yeah, definitely. And I'm teaching my classes, and I'm here showing the exams on the board.
And
So
I
you
should
were.
say he's really a good one, guys.
Mhm.
Like right now, he's maybe like kind trying to explain you something because like of course you are new like and you don't know too many, but he's a really good teacher, Alien, with his jokes and everything. Yeah, I,
Thank you so much, Emre.
I remember those classes right now better.
Definitely. So, and then when you were done with the boot camp, like let's say this is a very common asked question. So, how long did it take for you after the boot camp to find a job? How long did you search for a job?
It was a long, stressful time, to be honest, for me. Like long means, I guess I got it after my fifth month, and even I did mock up 2 times.
Mhm.
I wasn't being able to pass it at first. But right now, I think like that like placement support that you explained already is really good because it makes you like make less interviews, less real interviews. It makes you lose real interviews because the mock-up, it's getting your dust cleaning and everything. So I wasn't able to pass it at once. I did it twice, so I took my time and I did it at twice. Then after that, I guess like yeah, 4 5 months, yeah, until I land in a job.
And then
Uh,
you've been working there for a year right now?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Okay,
more or less.
perfect. So by the way, so that the people here understand what mock interviews are. So at the end of the boot camp, guys, when you explain everything, we take our students one by one. One of our instructors or mentors, they interview the students as in the real interviews. If they answer everything, if they're ready, they pass the interview, it means that they're ready to start applying for the job and they start applying for the jobs. But if they don't pass the interview, probably not, they're not ready, they're missing something. We give them some feedback, and then in a 2 weeks or three or so, whenever they feel ready, they do another mock interview. Whenever they pass our interview, that's the time when they start working on their resume, build the resume, and of course our team goes over the resume, and then after that they start applying for the job. So probably that's what he's mentioning when he says he did 2 mock interviews, and we want to make sure that every student of ours are ready for the market. So because if you're not ready and if you start applying without the knowledge, then you're gonna lose your motivation in the market. So it's very important.
And mock interviews, they were tougher than most of my real interviews, I can say that. So if you pass mock like satisfactory level, you should be more confident and you should be more ready for market. But of course, in the market, it can like change. Like the company's requirements can be a little different than your abilities, your skills. But like you're trying, and you're finding the perfect fit in time.
Perfect. So who was, let's say, one of the instructors that did your mock interview?
No, Tarek did my mock
Okay.
interviews.
Yeah, he was
I
one
don't
of the
know if
tough
he's still
ones.
with you, but yeah, Tarek, tough one, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he
That's
was.
why. It's because he wants to make sure that you really know the topic, and it's a good. He's a good teacher. He's also teaching the some of the soft skill classes, and also he does some of the interviews. Yeah, thank you. So, and then you said, but what about now that you're working in a company right now? Are you using the same tools that you learned in the bootcamp, or are they using different tools?
Different tools. Like Jira is same. Selenium. I'm going with Selenium as well. But the scripting language is a different one, like not Java, but if you're coming from Java, it is good. Like I'm using Python here.
Mhm.
And transition is more easy. And I was surprised when they uh, like I already told them, I am coming from Java. I know Java and everything. So they said, okay, if you're good at coding, because we did multiple rounds,
Mhm.
3 or 4 rounds. I showed them some coding skills as well. So they said, yeah, if you look fine. And in soft skill wise, it was nice. All my 3 rounds, I was feeling really good. I mean, energy connection with the interviewers company. So I'm surprised, but yeah, I got the job without like not even Java, not even like Cucumber that we learned or TestNG. So different skill, different tools, but I was able to get in
Okay.
the.
Did they train you when you started working, or they just left it on your own and said just learn this tool and learn the
Actually,
programming language?
I was bugging the other automation guys. I didn't I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, can you help me? Can you give me a session like this? Not a like a proper training process, but uh, as they said, the transition from Java to Python, I guess, easier. Python to Java could be much more complicated, but Java to Python because it is a little more simpler, and so it gave me a little hard time at the beginning, of course. I thought I was nervous about it a little bit, but somehow it
It
went
took you
my
like
way.
1 or 2 months to get comfortable with the job, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
And
right.
then what about there when you in the team? Were there the people there? Were they supporting you, or they're like, I don't know, making you a hard time when you started
In
work?
IT, before IT, I was in like business wise. I was a salesperson, international salesperson, and I had many different domains as well. And in IT sector, I noticed that everyone is helpful. When you get in a team, everyone is helpful. Just you need to ask, you need to ask, you need to know what you want, or you need to know what you're asking.
Mhm.
You need to have some basics. And in IT sector, as far as I experienced in different sectors, it is everyone is positive because, like the general conditions are nice, way above the average of other domains, other things. So everyone, like people are generally cool, happy, and for example, like they are whenever they want to take off, they are just it's just enough to
You're right.
text
Say
text a
I'm gonna be
sale,
off tomorrow.
yeah,
That's all, right?
text in the Teams chat. Guys, I'm not be available in the second half of the day. Just 2 hours later, he's off. So he's just informing it, not any reason, not anything. They can be off. Tomorrow I'm off, guys. And yeah, they can be off. So relax environment, cool environment. Conditions are nice, about the average, as I said.
What about before the bootcamp? Did you had any background in IT before the bootcamp?
In IT, I am a curious guy. I I am in e-commerce as well. I knew the general idea about the IT, the coding and everything, but I didn't have any experience. I was just updating Java in my computer, right, on the right below corner. When it is time came, I was just clicking that install button, updating that. I didn't have any experience about coding like this. Even if, at the beginning, when you made us write hello world, right? Hello world, hello world, hello Emre, whatever it is. So when you made me write like hello world in Java, I was thinking, okay, I was printing it on the terminal, right? So what if I change this world to Emre? Can I say make it, or will it broke? I was thinking like this, so I wasn't having any serious experience, any experience actually.
Yeah.
So
But
I
now
came
you're
that
like at
way.
the level that you already know coding and you can give advice.
Yeah, I
And
think.
my also before I go to their questions, my last question is, what about during the boot camp? Were you working? Did you have a full-time job during the boot camp, or
Yeah, at like I am always occupied with multiple things. Even now, I am doing multiple things. At that time, I was having a job. I was doing a job. I was just finishing my job. I was coming in 20, 30 minutes to home, having a shower, eating some bites, and I was sitting on 7 p.m. until 10. Even until 10 to 12, I was trying to do my tasks if I'm not too tired. If not, before next class, I was doing my tasks. So this is And this is the key, I guess. Do you stick with the classes, even if not live, because of the time difference and everything, because people are joining from different countries, right? Different time zones. Before next session, I was always trying to make the the skipping session, the missing session. So I was always up to date with the with the process, with the classes. This is the hardest part, and this is the key. But still, you need to have a good drive, I guess, like for it, and to see if you are a good fit for this is sector. Like if there are people like me out of IT or anything, they can see if they are fit, if they can do this job. And I believe you have still the 1 month trial period, I guess, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
So they can try it for 1 month and they can easily understand if they are good fit, if they understand how to do, if they understand the tools. If not, they can cancel it during 1 month. That was a good option as well. Without that 1 month option, I believe I wouldn't do it because it was sounding me something really complicated because I had my friends, they were always on their computers coding something like I didn't have experience. But that even that 1 month trial period, that gave me some courage so I can try it. If not, I can cancel it. But it worked well for me. Sorry, I just took it a little long.
No problem. So we have some more questions. So let's try
Yes.
to answer their questions. So one
Mhm.
of them is, what about right now? What is your designation? What is your title? And then what is the task that you do right now in your job?
Right now, I am senior QA software engineer, like senior QA engineer.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is
And
my
then do the testing tasks, right?
testing. Yeah,
So
just
are you
testing.
doing front end or back end testing generally?
I'm
Oh,
in UI front end, but they say we will be part of the back end in time as well. And yeah, right now I'm in front end. Yeah,
so before you start that other project, make sure you watch the API testing to
for
prepare
sure.
for the database
API
testing.
and SQL, we are able to see it afterwards. I will definitely go through that before if I'm assigned to and back end stuff.
Definitely. So what about, yes, Ahmet, you wanted to add something? Okay. So how many hours do you work per week, let's say now in your job or per day?
Like 8 hours, 7.5, 8 hours. We are putting in like timesheets. Our 7.5. It's rolling to 8, I guess. So like
Okay.
normal full-time schedule. Yeah.
And then are you doing are you a full-time hired or are you contract based?
Right now, like I'm in contract base,
Hmm.
but most probably it will be extended as permanent role because the company policy generally like this. At the beginning, even that's what they said. Like 80% of our contractors are shifting to permanent role. So I'm expecting that, and this is a hybrid. If you're gonna ask me, like 2 days on office, 2 days at home, that's also good side of the domain and the
Hmm.
job.
Okay. So, and then about your role, you said that you are doing UI testing and you are a senior software tester. That is
Mhm.
trying to answer the questions here. So we have a question about AI. So as you said at the beginning, you had no idea about coding and then you learned everything from scratch. And then now you know how to build a framework, right, to build a project from scratch. And the idea here is that now you learn a lot of things, right, from AI. So can AI do our jobs? Or let's say, let me ask the question this way. So another question here. So in your company, do they allow you to get help from AI or from Google or whatever?
From Google, from web, you can search things. No one like unless you have some tasks, right? In during the sprint, you have some tasks you can do it, but after some time, you don't need that. If you get used to it, there are some specific functions. In bootcamp, we learned much more than enough. That's what I say. And I will in time I will forget it and I will go back to refresh if I need that. So there are some specific functions that we are always using, frequently using. So you're always going around them.
Hmm.
But if you need AI, we don't have access to like GPT, but you can search it on internet or anything. But if the questions, if AI will take over our places, no, I don't believe in an at least in the near future, or like next 10 years, it won't be so possible because even AI needs some feedback or needs to have
Directions.
some decision making. If you leave it everything, it can mess up seriously. And there are some human factors even in testing, even if you're coding, there are some human factors that you should fix. I don't think so. That's what I can say. Of
Okay.
course.
So definitely they allow you to use those other helping tools to, I don't know, help doing your tasks, and nobody doesn't say you, why did you get help from AI or from Google or from anywhere? It's
No.
up to yourself. And by the way, the same, we had the same questions with our alumni in the previous info sessions, the same thing. So one of them is that in my previous company, they didn't allow me to use AI at all because they had sensitive information. But in another company, he was able to use AI. He was like using them a lot,
Mhm.
and it will make your life easier. And definitely that's a tool that can be used. So yeah, with
Even one of my friends, he's working now. They are teaching their AI bot how to test. The guys are teaching AI, so it will take like 1 2 year project for them. So that the AI can help them. So yes, in my position again, uh, like I didn't even like need to use it because even AI, even GPT, even if you put some information in it, copy paste, it won't give you exact solution. You should know, you should have some base.
Mhm,
The bootcamp is working over there. Like you have some base, you know what to do, what to search, what to learn,
mhm.
even if you don't know in real job. You know what where you want to look at it to find the solution. So you can search it. No one will bother you. Like if you can find your solution yourself, it is best thing for everyone.
Okay, perfect. So I think we answered your questions, Syed. So about the tasks, it talked about the working hours and also about AI. So if you have any other questions, guys, you can ask them to Emre. So another thing that I will want to ask you, Emre, is are you still in the same company, or did you switch to another company?
Same, same
You're
company.
still in the same company, and you said that they might promote you in the near future.
Yes, most probably it will be fine. I feel nice, and I feel that they are also happy with me.
Okay. So
So,
definitely you can ask, as you said, Syed yourself, so you can ask for help for any software, and then you can, as long as you do the task, whatever you're supposed to do, it doesn't matter when you get the help from. By the way, in the beginning, your team members will help you get used to the software, get used to the product of the company. So that's normal. So one of the things that we got a question here, though, they always like to ask is about your salary. So is your salary in that range? Are you happy with it, or I don't know if you can give us
yes, I
information.
am happy with it. It is good, like close to six figures, I can say,
Hmm.
very close to six figures, and probably with the permanent rule, it will be above six figures. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Six
happy
figures, so that we translate some of the people they don't know. So six figures is about 100,000, let's say, plus
per
or
year.
minus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about another one is did you get help to create your portfolio? Let's say to create your resume and everything. Did you get help from Neotech about these steps?
Yeah, like this is the like placement team stuff, right? After mock-up and everything. Yeah, of course. I we got full help from placement team. There is a chat always. There was a chat always for us to talk to ask any questions. Like even like after mock-ups, you're preparing your resumes. I That's what we did. So you can like polish it and you can ask the placement team again. You're making your even for LinkedIn accounts, LinkedIn profiles. They're checking it. They are giving you suggestions. They are helping you with it. For like LinkedIn profile, resume, like the profile, your profiles in job hunting, searching places, websites. They're also already giving you the list of like that you can subscribe, register, and you can apply jobs for them. Full support. Yeah, I got a good support. It was really satisfactory. I
Okay.
was just I was just alone in my interviews. Rather than that, I
Yeah.
was always having my support from the team placement
And
team.
if we can ask this question, so how many job did you apply and how many interviews did you have? So this
I mean, I didn't calculate in total, but over 1,000, maybe 1,500. Yeah.
1,500 job applications. What about how many interviews did you have?
Around 20. But like I'm counting even for initial calls.
Mm-hmm.
So 20, 25 maximum. So 10 serious rounds, like the coding or just technical rounds or like soft skill rounds. Yeah, I can say 10 serious
And then
interviews.
you had multiple steps in some of them, right?
Yes, yes. Minimum two. After phone call, if they come back to you, it's going minimum like 2, 3 rounds, sometimes 4 rounds. Yeah, it was multiple rounds. Yeah, like this.
Okay. So as we said, we try to help you with recruiters, with our alumni, depending, all right, depending if they have any job openings, they will share with our students. So by the way, guys, as we said, you go to the interview, even though you prepare you for everything, you go to the interview yourself. You're able to answer questions there, to go to first round, second round. If you have any things, any help from us, definitely between them we can help you. But of course, you go to the interviews yourself, and you're able to find a job finally. So, are you able to keep the materials? Uh, let's say yes, you're able to find to keep the materials during the boot camp, even after the boot camp, after you find a job. Even after you find a job, if you need help from us, definitely we can talk and we can share the materials if you really need them. But that is our process. Until we find a job, we are helping you. We are sharing the materials because we want you to find a job. Because after you find the job, right, we are successful, right? That's the only way that we consider ourselves successful is if our students find a job. If we have thousands of students that are very good but they don't find a job, it means that our success is zero. So that's why we're trying to push them as much as possible. So we had a lot of good questions today, and thank you, Emre, for coming and answering all those questions. It was very nice for you for coming here and sharing your experience. And of course, hopefully, we're gonna invite you again in the future. And we hope you all the best. If you need anything for us, definitely contact our team, and we're gonna continue to support you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. I hope I could give some like first ideas to the new people around there. And I'm again glad to see you again, Alien. Thank you for everything. You have a big effort on me for my all the process. Appreciate that. I was yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and sharing your experience. Bye bye. Have a good one. So now we're gonna continue. Ahmet gonna continue with his part, and then we're gonna go to the pricing and everything. Okay. Thank you, Ahmet.
You both. Thank you, Emre. It was great to see you again. Let me continue with my part. And first of all, my name is Ahmed. I'm one of the instructors here, as well as one of the co-founders of Net Academy. I'm beyond excited to be here. We have a great crowd, great questions. So before I even start, I want to say this. We have a Q&A section at the end of the meeting. Please stay back. I would love to talk about more about the AI, more about your questions. Like there are a lot of good topics here. We just wanted to finish what we want to teach, especially the stuff about the tuition fee and how it goes. We are going to be offering great incentives today, great promotion discounts. So don't leave anywhere. I just want to have a quick recap how you will learn. This is how you learn, right? You know that we will have live classes. Why we are putting it here, live classes? Because we're not just giving you recorded classes from like, God knows when. These are all happening live, then they're being recorded and then they're being shared with you. So if you miss it, that's perfectly fine. But what I want to have is like if you are in the market to like looking for a boot camp, you might see that some boot camps are offering recorded classes. We don't do that. These are live. You get the live support whenever they're being recorded, and afterwards there will be still a support for you to ask your questions and everything. You will have individual projects, group project, review classes. You will have the quizzes and everything. So, but is this our end goal, or our end goal is to place you in a high-paying job? Obviously, it's the latter. So we want you to be placed in a high-paying software testing job. And for that, what do we do? I'm sure you are wondering about it. First of all, you will have the mock interview. And that's like one of the key part of our program, because that's how you finish it, how you accomplish that you are ready for the next step to go to the job market. We will be helping you with the resume building, and that's like tailor fit to your needs. So there will be a designated placement team that will help you throughout the process, and that's how you will have your own resume. It's not just going to be a copy paste from any other person's resume. This is going to be personalized for you. We will give you an extensive knowledge on how to apply for jobs, soft skills, about how to answer certain questions about the corporate world. We will give you an extensive knowledge on the market, how it works, what you should say, how to negotiate. Throughout this, you will have one-on-one mentoring, and you will have access to our alumni network, just like Emre, just like many others we had. If you guys have like ever been to our YouTube channel, you will see we've done a lot of info sessions, and all of them has a guest speaker who are like talking about their experience. So those are all our network that we have. We will help you with the salary negotiation, which is like my favorite thing to do, and we will also help you with the connecting with the recruiters, as well as we are partnered with some recruitment companies, and like that's the connection that we have. But at the end of the day, there was a question that I want to quickly uh, answer: is the job placement guaranteed? Job placement support is guaranteed, but the job placement, it cannot be guaranteed. If anybody guarantees you such a thing, that means that's like they're wrong, like they're technically lying. Why? Because there are some factors that we cannot control. I cannot control your performance. Let's say that you go to an interview and you just failed the interview, so what should we do, right? However, as long as you are willing to get a job, we will throw you jobs. We will be like, hey, go apply for this one. Are you still, like, we will be motivating you, and like we will do everything that we can do to get you that job. Because why? You will see why. Because that's how, again, just like Elio said, that's what defines our success. Plus there are some other incentives for us too. You will see it. This is the average. Again, this is like a national average for US. For Canada, you can do your own search, because this is a for Canada and US section. So the what does the job market look like right now question would be best answered with what? With some screenshots of current offer letters. Okay, so I'm gonna switch my screen. There we go. So I wanted to put this one because this is like so recent. We just had this 2 days ago. 48 per hour. I think that adds up to what, almost like 96,000 annually. Uh, Not bad. And especially this is Florida, so you don't have state tax. This is good. We have this one, like this was June 4. This is from New York, and as you can see, this is an amazing offer with 135 as a base salary plus $20,000 bonus plus some additional stock units and everything. And this was a product of a salary negotiation. So we've helped with this one a lot. And obviously, there's a great offer, and you might be eligible for that too. We have this one. This was the May 5th. This is 45, so that adds up to what, like 90, I guess, almost. We have this one. Again, you will be seeing bi-weekly different ways of putting it down. This one is base salary 112. Let's see. This one is $80 per hour. And if you do the math, I think this adds up to almost 165, like 100,065, $100 per year annually. So this is a great offer too. You will see a lot of them. This is 82. Again, the location 106 with some bonuses. We have 90,000. I don't want to go over all of them, but like this is what you will be receiving at the end of this program. And this is our ultimate goal. We don't really want you to be an expert in Java or expert in Selenium or any other tool. We want you to be an expert as software testers and to place you in a job. We don't want you to be just sitting at home knowing all about the software testing. We want you to be in the market representing us, be happy, get like amazing salaries. So that's our end goal. And obviously, by that, you can easily work one of the companies that you see here. That's if that's your goal. Obviously, we have like more and more coming every day. But overall, this is how it looks. Again, we'll have a Q&A section. So don't leave. And now I'll invite Eric back to talk about our promotions. Eric, floor is yours.
All right, thanks, Ahmet. Let me get over here and share my screen. There we go. So we have a very unique way for you to get involved with this and to potentially change your life. But I want to ask you this question. Some of you already know the answer because you might have looked into college before. Maybe you went to university. Maybe you've got kids that are thinking about going to college. But look at the average cost per year of college education in the U.S. For a four-year school. You're looking at $36,000. That's for 1 year. That's average cost for 1 year. So you think about going there for 4 years, you're in excess of $100+ thousand. There are some private universities out there. A lot of you probably already know this that are 50, 60+ thousand a year. That's $200+ thousand. Now, obviously, there's a potential for a scholarship, for some sort of a grant, but that is a ton of money. And by the way, when you go to a four-year university, four-year college, is there any guarantee that you're going to be in the field that you study? There really isn't. How many of you know someone who went to university studying something and they never really got a job in that field? They're not even working in that field. I have family who did that. I have family who studied psychology, never became a psychologist. Studied physics, never did anything involved in that field. But it's very expensive. And when you look at the boot camps, the average boot camp is over $13,000. Now we offer a boot camp, but again, what we're doing is something that's very unique. I'm going to walk you through exactly how that works. All right. So it's really in two parts. And the second part, which I'll get into of our tuition, is designed to help you get involved and help you land that first job. As Amet was saying, we can't guarantee that we're going to land you a job. There are a number of factors in place. It's actually against the law for us to guarantee a job in some states. We can't do that, but we will guarantee the support to land that first job. So here's our tuition. Our tuition comes out at 52.49. Now, what we are doing is offering what we call an early bird discount. So if you get involved over the next couple of days, we're taking $200 off of that, and that brings it down to $5,049. However, check this out. That's not paid at once. Don't worry about it. It comes with a money back guarantee, which I'll go over with you in just a second. It's actually paid in 7 monthly installments of 721. But notice this up here, 5,000 and change compared to 13,000 and change. Now, the reason our tuition is so inexpensive is because we offer a very unique placement program. So the way this placement program works is you're responsible for 85% of your first month's salary after you find a job. In other words, if you don't find a job, if you can't find a job, which we're going to help you do as best as we can, we do guarantee the support to find the job, not guaranteeing the job itself. But if you don't find a job, you don't pay this. And even that is paid in 4 monthly installments. So don't misunderstand. It's not 85% of the entire first year's salary. No. We want you to get paid and we want you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's 85% of your first month's salary after you find a job, and then that's paid in 4 monthly installments. That's how we keep the tuition so low compared to 13+ thousand right off the bat. We don't believe that's doable for a lot of people, so we want to do everything we can to help you. So now we're incentivized. We're incentivized to help you find a job, and it really puts us on the same side of the table as opposed to being on opposite sides of the table. And we bring that tuition down even further by offering you a discount, an additional discount, if you are referred by a Neotech student or alumni. So just let us know when you reach out to us that you were referred by someone. Groups of two, notice this. Each student gets 150 off. Group of three, each student gets 200 off. If you have even have a large group, groups of four or more, contact us, and I'll give you the contact information in a second, and we'll work something out with you. But we encourage this. We encourage people to sign up in groups because this way you can encourage each other. You can help each other with your homework. You can, stay in touch with each other after you graduate and help each other in job searches. Maybe you wind up working at a particular company. You don't like it so much, but you met someone that was in class with you, and they say, "Hey, we're looking for people. You should reach out to them." So you'll be a part of that alumni network. Now, here's a big question people have. What if I change my mind later? Well, notice this. There's no deposit. There's no application fee. You don't pay anything until the boot camp actually kicks off. You start paying when the classes begin, not before, and you can cancel for free anytime until the boot camp actually starts. Here's what we also do that's very unique, because we want to really answer all of the objections that people would have. So we've already addressed the cost. Our cost is extremely inexpensive, and our boot camp is market driven. But we're also giving you a 30-day money back guarantee, 100% refund if you decide to leave. And it's until you complete your first month. So you got your first month, you get your first month under your belt. If you decide, hey, I don't have time for this, I've decided to do something else, 100% refund, no questions asked if you decide to leave. That's that 30-day money back guarantee. Now, to learn more about the boot camp, simply go to neotech.com/bootcamp. You can also book a call with our admissions team. That's neotech.live/call. If you're not ready to call, just reach out by submitting your interest, neotechacademy.com/apply. But guys, submit your spot, or secure your spot now. So often, what we do is it's human nature. We procrastinate. And the reason why people procrastinate, I think, is because there's a lot of fear involved, because they're you're going to be doing something that maybe you weren't thinking about doing just a little while ago, and all of a sudden you heard Emre giving his testimonial about how he's got a job out of the boot camp that's paying almost six figures. We've had students, as Amet just showed you a moment ago, who are getting more than six figures. Like that one offer that was what, $166,000. That's tremendous. I mean, that's like being in a good law firm for a few years. But this is all about changing your life, and it's human nature. What I was saying, to procrastinate. I always bring up the story of a buddy of mine who, got this book, War and Peace. Everybody's heard of War and Peace. I don't know if anybody here's actually read it, but he bought it it was like a yard sale, like a really nice version of it. Just the cover was, very antiquish. And he said, I'm going to finally read War and Peace. And I followed up with him, month after month. Hey, what chapter are you on? Well, I'm still on chapter one. It's just a matter of prioritizing things. I would say, guys, prioritize your future rather than just watching everybody else doing something like this and making their life better. Make your life better. And think about all the people you can bless, because you're now making the money that you deserve and you have the freedom that you deserve. So don't put it off. Take advantage of it. Email us for any questions, team@neotech.com, neotechacademy.com. You can also schedule a phone call, neotech.live/call, or simply call us directly. We're giving you every avenue to reach out to us. That's 929-566-3919. Let's just real quickly run through some comparisons. Why join Neotech Academy? Let's compare this, what we offer, and what Emory was a part of, and thousands of other students around the world have been a part of. Let's compare what we do compared to just going out there and doing it on your own, maybe watching YouTube videos or something like that, or going to university or taking an online course. Well, let's discuss the time first of all. If you're self-taught, who knows how long it's going to take you? Most people, like I said, procrastinate. They might say, "Oh, I'm going to become a software tester. I'll teach myself how to do it." Well, if you do that, who knows when you're going to get around to finally actually doing it? And then, secondly, what you're saying is that you are, in fact, the industry expert. You're saying that you are the expert, even though you might not know anything about software testing. And it's all up to you to decide, when you're going to start doing it. Well, if you go to a university, it's 4 years or more. It's not very interactive. The professor may or may not be an industry expert. I remember studying business, taking business courses in university, and I don't recall a single professor ever actually starting a business or really having that much actual business experience, yet they were actually teaching the courses. I mean, if you decide to do this on an online course, it's unsupervised, it's self-paced. By the time you finish that online course, the market could have totally changed by then. Whereas with us, everything, the learning content is market driven. and we have a community out there to hold your hand, to help you out. One-on-one mentorship. Our tech support is nearly 24/7. Things that the other avenues aren't going to really be able to accommodate you with, as far as being self-taught university or online. So, guys, it's tremendous value when you consider the cost, the tuition being. Think about starting your own business for a second. Think about the overhead when you start your own business and how much it costs. I had a buddy who bought a couple of Subway franchises. I couldn't believe the amount of money he spent on Subway. I mean, he was in well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars with all this overhead that he had every single month on top of that. So here's really a small amount of money to get started, a small investment in your future to have a skill set that nobody can take from you. And that's really awesome. So and it can make you money potentially no matter what happens in the world. Remember what happened with COVID? We were talking about that earlier. Our industry thrived, other industries were actually shutting down. So I hope you can see that we're passionate about what it is that we do. We do want to help you out. We're very motivated in doing that. Our program is tested and proven, and this is all we do. I always like to point out this is not Neotech Academy, for the IT industry, and we offer like training on how to bartend. We're not a bartending school or anything else. We all we do is train people how to make money to change their lives in the IT industry. So we're always working on guiding our students towards the best jobs in the market, and we're here to help you build your career from the ground up. So what we'll do is, folks, here we're going to wrap this up here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to bring Elian and the Met back on. I'm going to stop sharing my screen in case they want to show you something, and we'll take some final questions here. But I would just say, those of you who are doing this, congratulations on, again, changing your life and taking that next step.
Thank you so much, Eric. It was great. Yeah, exactly. And if you have any questions, you know what to do. Put it in the chat. Don't forget to change it to everyone so everyone can see. And we're here to answer your questions. But overall, again, I just wanted to mention about some of the questions that we had, which is Sied's question, I guess. We always, like with what we do, we design this program for you to find a job. And obviously, any tool that we teach is doing that. And also, throughout the program, you will have a lot of mentors, for a lot of people who are working. By the way, I forgot to mention, I'm a software tester. I'm a senior software tester. And so we always introduce you with new tools too. We share about our daily jobs, what happens and everything. So that's a big thing. And AI is a part of that thing. And obviously you will use AI, but AI not in a position to replace us. That's for sure.
Okay, everybody. So if you have any questions for us, we can address your questions. So the most important thing is, I don't know if I can go over one more time about a quick one about pricing, because that's one of the most important things is, so this is the tuition for the boot camp during the boot camp, and this is split into 7 monthly installments. So there's no interest, it's interest free, $721 per month during the 7 months of the boot camp. And then after you find a job, you're gonna be done with the boot camp. You're gonna start applying for the jobs. So after you're done with the job, after you find the job, and after you start working, then we're gonna request the 85% of your first month's salary. So that also can be paid. This only after you find a job, and this can be paid with installments again. So we don't want to get the first month from you and then you have nothing to live with. But of course, you're going to pay that one with installments. And again, even this can go even more down if you have any friends. You're doing it together with another friend, so you get 150 off each of you, or 200 off if there are 3 people. If you're referred by a Neotech student, so if you have any Neotech student, use their name and you're gonna get an extra discount for that. So definitely try to get as much as to utilize this discounts as much as possible. And then also, what is the most important one, guys, is as of right now, guys, if you sign up, you're gonna get these discounts, but you're not gonna pay anything until the first day of the bootcamp. So we start with the payments on the first day of the bootcamp. So during the first month, guys, you're going to watch the classes, you're gonna do the task, you're gonna look it for yourself. is this one good for you or not? Do you like it or not? If you like it, you decide to continue, then we consider you as a student and we continue with a second payment and so. If you say, right, towards the end, of course, we ask to our students, did you like it? Do you want to continue? If you say no, guys, no question asked, definitely we're going to refund you that first payment that you made, 100% refund, and then you can continue your life. Why do we do this one? Because first of all, we trust our product, we trust our boot camp. Second one, we want you to see it for yourself. We want you to make sure that you are signing up, you're doing something that you like and you can do. If you cannot do it, we don't want students that cannot do it. We want students that can do it, want to do it, and gonna be able to find a job at the end. And the third, and which is also important, is this may not be good for you because probably you might be very busy or something is in your life, but you will refer this one to somebody else. That's why we're doing this one, guys. Give it a try for yourself. By the way, during this time, guys, until the bootcamp starts on August 10th, you can ask. If you go to our website, you can request their free class sessions. Ask there for the class sessions. We're gonna share some video with you, or there's some sample classes. Have a look at those. Prepare for the bootcamp so that when it starts, you are used to it. You know what we're doing here. So there are a lot of things that you can get, a lot of information you can get, guys, for the bootcamp before it starts, even during the first month, and then you can decide with your full knowledge. So don't forget, go to our website, register there. As I said, try to ask questions. So you can also schedule a call, guys, with one of our admission specialists. So ask questions about when it starts, when it ends, what are the things that are taught there. I don't know, any questions about payments that you might have, definitely go there and we're going to try to help you as much as possible. Okay. So let's see if we have any other questions here. So since we don't have any questions, guys, I think we can wrap it up, right, Ahmed and Eric? So I don't think we have anything else to add. We don't want to repeat ourselves. We hope you all the best, guys, and I hope to see you on August 10th in our classes.
Thank you for joining. Looking forward to see you in our classes. Take care.
See ya.